Ravichandran, is Romy there now? No, one question there. I can't read the question from the file that he has shared with me. And you know, Chandran, since there is nobody and I'm not responding to anything, don't upload this thing. Okay? Can you read? Are there some questions?
Yes, there are some questions.
Okay.
One person has asked, I would like to know the pattern of exam syllabus and tips for preparing.
How do we answer this question?
Uh, you have both multiple choice and subjective questions.
Okay.
Um, um, it's
And
yeah.
the uh, we will cover all the topics that we have discussed in the course of the exams, and not beyond the uh, videos that we have posted. So that will be the scope of the test from the content of the course. And as far as pattern is concerned, it is multiple choice and that's subjective questions.
Okay, so someone has said it is Dr. S. Henry Kishore. Sir,
Mm,
your assignment answers are leaked in the net. We
mm,
find it less challenging.
mm.
Uh, we find it less challenging as the answers are already out, and uh, there are some of us feel lazy to go through the material and find the answers. Will it be possible for you to change the assessment questions in the next edition?
Okay, definitely. Kishore, we don't know about the leakage of this thing and how it gets leaked, but um, there are two ways I can tell you. We keep changing these questions and time to time, but the questions have to be based on the content of the course. The second part is don't feel lazy. You go through the content that is important for learning the concepts in the course. Um, as far as the leaky part is concerned, we are not aware of that, and we will have to look into that.
No, some companies are doing this, sir. They are
Okay.
getting into these courses and making videos of that. I don't know. Even if we make new questions, if they decide to make videos of that, then I don't think we can do anything about it.
Right. If we decide to do it before the deadline of our questions, then we don't know. We will look into that. We will work on that for sure.
And then one person has asked, what is the scope of applied linguistics?
There is a huge scope of applied linguistics as far as the Application of language is concerned, application of theoretical understanding of language is concerned, it is applied linguistics is about application of theoretical understanding of language to the practical problems, the practical uses, beginning from teaching of language all the way to advanced computation, understanding neuroscience, understanding disabilities, uh, um, understanding understanding disability caused due to accidents, and huge range of domains. That is, any domain in which language is used, uh, the scope for application of our understanding of language. So basically, what I can say is applied linguistics is basically linguistics, and after that, the sky is the limit.
One person has asked how to use linguistics in teaching.
Yeah, that is related to the scope of applied linguistics. Uh, you can use your understanding of linguistics um, to applied linguistics to a great extent, based on the concepts of language, sounds, words, structure, meaning, pragmatics. All parts of study of language have uh, applicational applicability, and all these things can be used um, in teaching. For example, if you understand sound systems of the language better, you can teach the sounds in a better way. If you understand word formation, you can teach the word formation in a better way. The same way you understand sentence formation and construction of a sentence about the different components. That is how different components of sentence is different components are put together, how they combine with each other. Basically, combinatorial mathematics, combinatorial algorithm, the way it works in human mind, the more you know about it, the better you can perform in teaching of your language. Yes.
Next one is please explain diphthongs.
Sounds are two uh, two, but there is a better way of understanding diphthong, which is uh, a vowel sound which starts with one vowel quality and ends with another. For example, A. So it starts with A, ends with E, but they are, but that is not two different vowels as A and E. Uh, they are that is one vowel. So diphthong basically means, as opposed to monophthong, two vowel qualities in one sound, and that is called diphthong.
Next is, sir, as you told that impossible and inconsistent are examples of assimilation. So I could infer that this happens because of in plus possible is equal to impossible, and in plus patient is equal to impatient, and in plus consistent is equal to inconsistent. Though looks same, there is variation occurring in pronunciation, that is assimilation has happened. But there is a example like illogical, illiterate, where assimilation has occurred, I guess, but in a different way. The nasal has disappeared altogether in this case. Please explain.
Right. That is one way to put it. It is assimilation that, and in morphology, that is understanding of words. One can always argue whether illiterate is a new word which has negative meaning, or is it negative prefix with literate. We are not clear about that. However, uh, the other examples of inconsistent, impossible, and others are examples of negative prefix where you have a nasal or a labial sound at the end of the prefix, and it assimilates with uh, with the sound, the first sound of the word which shares. it assimilates in such a way that it shares the same plane of articulation. That's how assimilation works. In other ways, in other cases, assimilation may work in a different way. For example, uh, ra and la, you not only have illiterate, you also have irregular. So uh, maybe negative prefix is also assimilating with the first sound of these words, regular and literate. So there are various ways of looking at this phenomena, this morphological process in language. But if assimilation has happened, assimilation does not happen only with nasals. Assimilation may happen with a lot of other environments of sound systems as well. Next,
What is the difference between applied linguistics and computational linguistics?
computational linguistics is one part of applied linguistics. Computational linguistics means using concepts of language study in understanding uh, an intelligent machine, a better system, or in the mathematical sense, you can look at it as algorithms underlying language structure and all. So there aren't hard and fast boundaries between disciplines as well, particularly subdisciplines. So the best way to understand the differences or relationship between applied linguistics and computational linguistics is that it is uh, computational linguistics is one part of applied linguistics.
Okay. Could you please suggest some easy books to read?
Pitcott, uh, and there all books are easy. There is nothing called easy books to read. But if you are looking for a generic textbook in applied linguistics, then I would recommend Pitcorder. And before that, also, if you are interested in the details of understanding language and relationship between language study and applied linguistics, you can look at ancient and seminal works of Edward Sapir, uh, uh, Bloomfield, Jacobson, Hockett, and uh, yeah, these are some of the names. I would certainly not recommend right away reading Chomsky and literature and language, where Chomsky many times becomes synonymous with linguistic developments in linguistics. But please read some basic and foundational materials on language studies and its relationship with applied linguistics and how applied linguistics becomes relevant. These books will shape up, shape your understanding up in a much better way.
Okay. Next
Next,
question is, please discuss about formants and vowels and consonants which come under different formants.
what is that? Formants.
Formants.
I am not aware of that. I will please take a note of this thing, formants. We will look
Yes.
at it and then only I can describe that. I'm not, maybe I don't understand what this means.
Okay. I think this is based on that music
Okay,
lecture.
okay. So
Wha-
we'll check that.
Yeah, the next question is, why is applied linguistics important and what does it teach us?
I have already described that before. So please listen to this carefully. All answers to all the questions that we have described so far. It will definitely answer your question. I'm sure it would have already answered your question by now.
Regarding the CCCC pattern,
Mhm.
there are words in English that have a Y and I sound such as cyst, rhythm. How do we treat it?
They are, what is the CCV? CCVV simply refers to a consonant and vowel alternation. The sounds that you are mentioning are definitely examples of consonants and vowels. So if you look at each sound separately in the word, you will understand CCVV.
Sir, that person is not asking about CCVV.
Uh-huh.
Four consonant clusters, C C C C.
Okay, the consonant of four cluster sounds in the beginning of a word is not possible. So please hear me out again. Four consonant sounds at the beginning of a word is not possible in human language. So three consonant sounds in the beginning of a word is possible, and there are a lot of examples that we have given in the course. But four consonant sounds are not possible. If they look like, that is, if there is a word where it looks possible to you, that is because you are looking at the spelling, or you are not looking at the sounds of that word. Please recheck that one more time and you will understand.
Then there's a question, sir. What principles of applied linguistics should be applied to create a study material for English language learning as second language? This is for people who have some proficiency in reading and basic writing, but a lot of difficulty in speaking and articulation.
Mhm. Tough question to answer, but applied linguistics, particularly its potential to apply study of language structure at different levels of sounds, words, sentences, meaning, will definitely help in finding out materials for all levels of learners in learning English as a second language with little proficiency or no proficiency or no proficiency. Uh, the the central part of this question lies in creating a textbook for these things. It's not something that I can describe in a couple of minutes, but I hope you understand the applicability of study of language for the purpose of teaching, which applied linguistics does. Okay.
Um, Sir, do we have to study the reading material and additional lectures for final exams?
If you do, it will make it better. However, if you don't want to, you can do final exams without that as well.
Mm, Sir, you were not audible.
Just hold on for a moment.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. What was the question again?
Sir, do we have to study the reading material and additional
Ah,
lectures for final
right.
exams?
No, not necessarily. However, it would be nice for you to learn better things from additional material. You can do final exams without that as well.
Okay. What are the prerequisites for pursuing research in computational linguistics?
Very simple. An understanding of introductory part of the study of language, as well as some foundational knowledge about computation system, both as components and with understanding of hardware. I think that will be more than enough for you to understand computational linguistics. But however, more important part is the foundational understanding of language study.
How is speech act theory related to language? How is the analysis done on utterances?
We haven't done speech act theory in our course so far. We can answer this question at some other
Okay. Sir, you told only required elements are subject, object, verb, but I have read complement is too, as in he is a teacher. Please make it clear.
complement is the term for object. Object refers to grammatical relation. However, objects most of the time are complements. So what you are saying, what you are asking is covered in the question about complements. About objects are basically objects are complements.
Okay. Sir, if any person asks what was Bob doing, is it enough to say Bob was eating? There is no need for an object, and so it's a complete sentence, isn't it, sir? Please attest it.
It looks a complete sentence for speakers of English in India. It may look a complete sentence for speakers in other part of the world. It will you will have to mention
So
that.
your voice is breaking, sir.
I sorry. I was saying. Is it better now?
Yeah.
I was saying it's not a complete sentence for speakers of English of other varieties of English. However, it may be complete sentence for it may look like a complete sentence for a speaker of English in India.
Oh,
So you basically you will have to answer. You will have to put an object in that sentence.
okay.
Okay?
Um, the next question is, sir, I doubt this categorization of verbs a bit because I think going and coming really need an object, like the name of the place where one is going or coming from. And eating doesn't need an object in some instances, like when someone asks, why did you not pick up my call? And then you answer, I was eating. Isn't that right or acceptable? Please do consider.
Definitely, you are absolutely right about your observations. However, the response is the following: go and come are still intransitive verbs. What happens is it requires an adjunct obligatory. It's obligatory for for an adjunct to be available in these verbs. That obligatory presence of an adjunct in these verbs does not make these verbs transitive. So that will answer your question about go and come. You are right. You can't say I go. You have to compulsorily say where. I am coming. You have to say from where. You are right. And that should answer your question. The other part about when somebody calls what and asks what were you doing, and you have to say I was eating. Again, it sounds complete to speakers of English in India because often we tend to drop objects in our languages, but in English that is not possible. And eat does this fact that we find it okay uh, to use the word eat without a complement does not make eat an intransitive. Okay?
Okay. Are absolute universals in typology and Chomsky's principles similar?
There is an overlap too, but we have not an absolute universal. And we have discussed Chomsky principle for the purpose of learning of language, not for making typological distinctions. But there is an overlap between the two. It requires a comparative study of Chomskyan universals and Greenbergian absolute universals. Uh, no, which is not part of this course.
Do linguists consider texting, that is SMS, as language? Why, how, and why not?
It is language. Anything that we use to communicate a message, that is any kind of language that you use to communicate is part of communication system, and then it is language.
Mm. Sir, that's it, sir.
Okay. No other questions available?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So with that, we wind up the sessions for this, and we will do the next sessions as scheduled. Ravichandran, are you there? Ravichandran? Ravichandran, are you there? Okay, Karthika.
Yeah.
Let
I,
us just let's just
yeah.
Ravichandran, yes. I was saying we are done with the questions. So we stop the session, but when you upload it on the YouTube, you edit